In this video, let's learn about how to implement group by in JavaScript. So this is an interview question. So this is majorly for the beginners. Okay, fine. Let's see what is grouping. So for example, an array was given, array of objects, okay, was given to you. And if they ask us to group this by the company name like Audi, all the cars which are related to Audi should come as a separate part. So that is a grouping. So all the cars which are related to the BMW or a Ford, so will come under one category. So that is known as a grouping. So the expected output is like, yes, Audi is a key. So we need to have an object. In that key is Audi. So this is grouping with this make. We are grouping the items with the make. That's the reason make means manufacture company. Understanding that way, you can group with any of the thing. You can group with the model, you can group with the year, anything. With any of the items you can group. But to understand the problem correctly, so we can understand this with the make now. Now we are grouping the elements with the make manufacturing. Okay. Now the expected output is like we need to have an object and the key is Audi. How many times Audi is there? But the key is only it will be coming once, and it has the value for this key is an array. In this array, all the values related to the Audi will be there. So this is known as a grouping. And in the next, for is a key, and the related values for that will be in an array. These values will be present here in an array like that. So this is a grouping. So hope you understand the problem, and let me explain you how to solve this. So before that, I wanted to explain you something like we have group by group to map. So we have these ready-made methods available in JavaScript, but in any of the interviews or wherever we want to do this group by, we can directly use this method. But in the interviews point of view, you can't use a built-in method. Okay, they will see our thought process, how we are going to solve the problem, the approach. That is important. We can't use the ready-made methods directly. So that's the reason I'm trying to explain you this, how to solve this, right? Fine, let me take let result equal to cars, okay, dot reduce function. So we'll be solving this with the reduce function. So if you're new to reduce function and you want more details on this, I've done a dedicated video on the reduce function in the JavaScript. So this 10 minutes video will have all edge cases, and I will be explaining with the basic example. I will keep this at the end card. You can go through this before starting this video. Fine. So now in this reduce function, it will take a callback function. Okay. And it will have an accumulator as a first parameter and current item as a second. Okay, now this callback is the first parameter it has, and the second one is the initial value. Here I am taking the initial value as an object because in the output we want everything in an object. So I am taking the initial value as an object. Now accumulator value is this object. This object is the initial value of this accumulator. From here, let's start the. Now what I am checking is if accumulator has the key. So now in the current item, what you'll be having is every time in the current item, you'll be having this object. For each iteration, you'll be having this object in the current item, and accumulator is a empty object for now. Now what I'm checking is in the accumulator, I'm verifying whether Audi is there or not. Audi as a key is there or not. How I can check? In the current item, I will be having this object. So in the current item dot make. So if I search like this, now in the first iteration, I will be getting it as Audi. Okay. And accumulator is empty now. So let's understand the iteration as well. Accumulator is an object now. In this object, do you have any key? No, it is empty now because we are checking in this accumulator Audi is there or not. Audi means the first item is there or not. No, it is not there. Then what you need to do? You need to I'm going to assign an empty array here. So what I'm doing is I'm creating Audi and I'm giving an empty object like this. Till this point, this is what happened. Now in the next iteration, like what I will be doing is, as this is the first time we are coming into this, okay, to Audi, I will directly keep the object like that. Means I'm doing the current item dot make, okay, dot push. I'm pushing the current object. So current item will consist of the current object. Now what I am doing, already I have taken an empty array now in this line till this line. Here what I am doing, to this already I'm pushing the current item. Current item in sense this one. I'm entirely pushing this item, current first item. So now in this array, we could able to keep the first object like this. You'll be having this object. So in the output, so you can see we'll be having this one initially. This is what happens now. Okay, now in the second iteration, so anyhow we need to return back the accumulator. The end, we need to return back the accumulator so that the accumulator will be holding all these values. At the end, it will return the accumulator in which you'll be having array object. You'll be having object and all these keys with these values. The expected output, in short, you'll be having that in the accumulator. So we are returning back the accumulator. For each and every time we'll be returning back the accumulator. So now we will be we can console the result as well. So let me console the result here. Fine, this is fine. Now in the next iteration, what happens? So in the next iteration, now the current item will become the second audio object. So now it is in the second audio object. Now the execution, if you see the execution, again it is going to assign you any empty object. It should not happen, right? It should assign you this one only because audio is already present. Audi key is already present and it has some values in it. So now that is the reason we need to write one more condition, because in the accumulator already we have this current item with the make. So that's the reason we should not give an empty array. If it is the first time, if the key now in the next iteration for is a one which is not there in this object, okay, then we can assign an empty object to it. Okay, if it is a second time, okay, you should not assign an empty object. It means you're erasing the already entered value. So that's the reason you should not give this empty object. You need to give the value which is already present. What is the value already present? This is a value already present. This you will be giving, and later on you're pushing the new current item. So new current item is this one you are going to push. So second item you'll be pushing here in the object. So this is how we will be constructing this. The second object was pushed into the same OD. Okay, because it is the same key. That is the reason we are giving the same information to this accumulator. We have that information, we are not erasing it. And if you in the next iteration, what happens? You'll be getting the for the next company. Now what happens is here you will be coming. Okay, you will be checking whether this Ford or BMW, any of this company is already is a property here or not. Okay, Ford is already a property of this accumulator. No, it is not there. Ford is not there here as a key so far. So that's the reason this becomes false. This point becomes false. Once it becomes false, this would be executed. It means now what happens in the next iteration, you will be giving like this. So you'll be giving a for and an empty array. This happens now with that. And later on, here you'll be pushing the first item of the for this object. And later on, again in the next iteration, the for information is already present. And now you will not go. The key is already present in this object. So that's the reason you will not assign an empty object to it, empty array to it. You will give back whatever you have to the for, and you'll push that element into the current item. So this is how the iterations happen. Fine. So now you can see here the output we got it as a OD. So I think, yes, you can see OD, two arrays, for two arrays, Kia two arrays, and the final output is an object for us. In the OD, you can see you'll be having two objects again. See the first object and the second object. Maybe this looks a bit clumsy. So let's open the developer tools here. Let's see here. Let's run it and we can see it clearly in the developer tool. Yeah, here you can see the output as an OD, and in OD you'll be having two objects. Here you can see what is expected we have and what is we got here. Okay, now this is the grouping in JavaScript. With the plain JavaScript, we could able to achieve the grouping part. The cars which are manufactured or related to Audi will be coming in an object. So this is a key and all related items will be as an array, as a value to this key. So that's what we could able to group them. Fine. So now if you want to group them with the year, Okay, the same thing, grouping logic would be the same. If you want this with a year, so in the name of make, modify this as a year. So I'm modifying this as a year. So simple, that's it. So wherever you use the make, you modify that to the year, and now you can verify it will be grouping with the respect to the years. Now 2012 will be grouped as one group. See, in the 2012, you have three types of models released. And 2003, 2012, 2012, you have three models. 2013, you have one model. 2015, you have one model. So that's the reason you got a grouping like this. Now we are grouping with respect to the year. Earlier, we grouped with respect to the manufacturer company. Now we are grouping with the year. So you can see here. In this 2012, you'll be having three objects. Okay, so this is how you can group easily in the JavaScript. Okay, like this, we'll be having a number of content. Hope you understand this video. You can check out our channel, Rethinking Your Channel, where we'll be doing a number of videos on the JavaScript, React.js, JavaScript interview questions, front-end stuff. So have a look at the channel. So if you like the videos, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.